Welcome to day 2 of Rally Guanajuato, Mexico. This WRC Fiesta never fails to entertain the thousands of fans that turn out to experience the greatest motorsport adventure on Earth. Today, the drivers travel deeper into the treacherous mountain stages, which promise to provide thrills and spills aplenty. Join us as we bring you the best action from across this second day. Before the drivers headed out to the mountain stages for day 1, thousands of fans turned out for the spectacular opening ceremony and obligatory blast through the tunnels of Guanajuato on Thursday evening. Ken Block was greeted with rapturous applause by the crowd, but the American star quickly ran into trouble, smashing into a curb on only the second corner of the event. The damage to the left front suspension of his Fiesta was extensive.
Not the way it was.
Instead, it was Petter Solberg who dominated the street stage. The Norwegian clearly settled into his new Fiesta. He made the strongest start. But it would not last long. As the drivers blasted into the mountains on day 1, Petter clipped a curb, punctured a tyre and had a spin all in the same stage. The damage was done. Nearly a minute was lost. The drama continued for Ken Block. Another massive moment on stage 12, ripped his tyre off the rim. And it wasn't just his car that felt the effects of the impact. His co-driver Alex Gelsomino taking a knock to the head.
Hit my head.
Having lost time and aware that new teammate Chris Atkinson was behind him on the road, Block pulled over to let him through. Belgium's Thierry Neuville made a great start on his Rally Mexico debut in the Citroën DS3 WRC, running as high as 4th at one stage, but he later ripped off a wheel and his fine start was over. In the minicamp, Brazil's Paulo Nobre was continuing to pick up WRC experience, but that was short-lived, as seen here from Sebastian Loeb's onboard camera. His day came to an end on stage 5. Up at the front, Ford's number 1, Jari-Matti Latvala, was heading the charge, the Finn showing savage speed. But on stage 5, Latvala ploughed into a road rock in the middle of the stage and damaged his suspension.
I had marked like stone inside, but maybe from the wall had come very, very big rock.
Some quick roadside repairs were done and Latvala limped on, but his lead was long gone. So with Solberg and Latvala's poor fortune, day 1 had been a disaster for the works Fords, but not so for private entry Mads Osberg. The Norwegian capitalised on the mistakes of others to find himself closing out the day in 3rd. But he was a long way adrift of the 2 works Citroëns. Mikko Hirvonen made a storming start early on to take the lead after Latvala's demise. But a titanic battle was developing between himself and teammate Sebastian Loeb. An uncharacteristically slow start for the world champion meant he spent the afternoon fighting back, outpacing his teammate and eventually moving into the lead. The pressure was getting to Hirvonen, and a spin in the final super special in torrential rain was proof he couldn't quite keep up with his all-conquering teammate. As day 1 came to an end, normal service had resumed and world champion Sebastian Loeb was the man at the top of the leaderboard. Loeb's advantage coming into day 2, 11.2 seconds ahead of teammate Hirvonen. Mads Osberg in 3rd, but he will have his work cut out to keep Latvala at bay, the Finn just 16 seconds behind. After an action-packed day 1, day 2 here in Mexico heralds even more competitive mileage, 184 kilometres in total, spread across 7 stages. And this is how they line up going into day 2. Paulo Nobre will lead the WRC Cruiserweight, like Thierry Neuville, restarting under the Rally 2 rules. They're followed by Ken Block. But again, the top runners all start further back. Petter Solberg goes 10th, followed by Latvala. Then comes Mads Osberg, Mikko Hirvonen, and rally leader Sebastian Loeb goes 14th. First up then on this busy second day is one of Mexico's classic stages, the challenging 30 kilometres of Ibaia. The fans are already out in force despite the early start. And Ken Block is one of the first into action. After that eventful return to WRC action yesterday, he'll certainly hope for improvement today. The American starts in 15th position.
Tightens and tightens again. He took 50. 50.
Oh, but a wild moment again for Ken. He's recovered it well, but another scary moment. You can see the damage to the rear of the Fiesta there, but his aggressive charge has been effective. Block moves up 3 places to 12th. Petter Solberg getting good air. He staged an admirable fight back following his frustrating day one puncture. The 2005 Mexico winner is already up to 5th. Getting a bit crossed up through here. A lot of loose gravel out there in Iberia, and despite running 10th on the road, he's still feeling the effects. Immediately behind Petter on the road is his teammate Latvala. Finn displayed incredible pace yesterday afternoon as he staged his own recovery operation after broken suspension. His pace has even provoked concern at the Citroën camp. First though, Gary's target is the 3rd place of Mads Osberg, and again Latvala is on an absolute flyer. A slightly damp surface here after heavy rain overnight.
Loeb has been generally very fast on this stage. I've never been so competitive on this stage against him. So if I can be quicker on this stage, then it's really good. So it was a bit slippy some places after the rain. It was some tricky corners there.
Latvala again in scintillating form then, and the early split times have not looked good for Osberg. Good commitment though over this infamous crest in Iberia. This low sun in the early morning is causing real problems for the Norwegian though. Nasty bang under the car, but thankfully no damage done. But this lack of visibility is causing problems. A full half a minute slower than Latvala, he slips to 4th. All change in the fight for 3rd then. Up front, Mikko Hirvonen will hope to respond after dropping that time in the Super Special last night. Here we go then. The battle for victory between the two Citroëns is back underway. 30 kilometres lie ahead in here, and Mikko starts today 11.2 seconds off the lead. Loeb, remember, has won this challenging event 5 times in a row, so the world champion is going to take some catching. Running behind Mikko on the road, Sebastian and co-driver Daniel Elena are fast approaching the split time at 16.4 kilometres. It's roughly halfway through. And look at this, they're already 3 seconds up. It's looking like a strong start to the day for Loeb. Hirvonen keeping pedal to the metal as he charges to the flying finish. He's more than 5 seconds slower than that stunning effort from Latvala, but will it be enough to challenge Loeb?
Didn't have a good rhythm in the beginning, and I was more behind, so I was catching a bit in the end, so that's okay. Let's see now how the long stage goes. I think our setup is a bit more for that stage, so let's see if it works over there.
Mikko not too confident with his time then. He was 3 seconds down midway through the stage, remember. We're about to find out if the rally leader can build on his advantage. Just the last few corners to come now. Keep an eye on the clock. I'm not sure Loeb will beat him here. Oh, well, that is strange. 2.5 seconds slower. Sebastian clearly losing a bit of momentum in the last couple of sectors of Iberia.
I lost a lot on the end. At the start I was quite good. I was 3 seconds ahead of Mikko, and I lost 6 seconds after that, so I don't know why.
The fight at the front closes up again then, just 8.7 seconds between Loeb and Hirvonen now, while Latvala's up to 3rd. No respite for the crews this morning. Next up, the longest stage of the day in Old-Tartes. Volkswagen driver Sebastian Ogier is in a development year with his new team in a Super 2000 Skoda Fabia, and he's quickly discovered how much a normally aspirated car suffers at high altitude. A small spin there for the Frenchman in stage 14. Ogier remains in 11th place for now. Ford have high hopes for young Estonian Ott Tänak, and the M Sport back driver has put in another impressive controlled shift so far in Mexico. Although a spin and a stall in here don't help his progress, he remains in 5th. The man to watch again this morning is Jari-Matti Latvala. Oh, and a slight nudge at the back of the car in that sweeping right-hander. He is pushing. Using every inch of the road here. He's got 42 kilometres to make an impact on the Citroën's advantage, and Jari is literally throwing his Ford through Old-Tartes. Mads Osberg had a tough run through the opening stage this morning. Like all the crews, the Norwegian is finding this grueling new look to Rally Guanajuato, Mexico a difficult proposition. Small moment there for Mads. As you can see, there are some really tight technical sections in here as well as the fast stuff. In the fight at the front, meanwhile, Mikko Hirvonen claimed the first blow this morning. He's got the gap to teammate Loeb down to within 10 seconds, and he was confident his setup would be well suited to this stage, remember. He'll be keeping one eye on the split times of his compatriot Latvala too. Incredibly, through the hundreds of corners of this 42-kilometre test, Mikko is just 4 seconds slower than his former teammate.
Took me maybe 15 kilometers before I learned to drive this car on very twisty roads, so start of the stage was really terrible, but then it started to go a bit better, so it was okay, but Sebastian's coming very fast from behind, so he's giving me a lesson again.
And here comes Hirvonen's teacher now, back in the stage. Citroën Total's #1 is putting in a stunning performance in stage 14. Loeb is excelling in the cleared lines of grip in this hard gravel surface. Not only is he quicker than his teammate through every split time so far, he's also beating Latvala. An incredible display of concentration to keep up this searing pace for 42 kilometres. And that's a stage win for Seb. It's extended his lead out to more than 18 seconds, while Latvala's closed slightly on Hirvonen in second. Osberg's strong run keeps his compatriot Solberg at arm's length. Join us after the break for more from the third round of the WRC, powered by Nokia. We'll have all the reaction from this morning's stages back at the service park. And of course, all the drama from this afternoon's stages. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the WRC, powered by Nokia. The drivers have now arrived back at the Polo Forum in the town of Leon for the first of today's services. The Ford team hard at work repairing any damage to the cars from this morning's rough mountain stages. It's been a good day so far for Jari-Matti Latvala, winning the opening test. Keeping the pressure on the Citroens is key now.
I've been pushing as much as I can, so I managed to take 7 seconds out, or almost 8 seconds out from Loeb on the first one. The second stage, he was very strong. He took 5 seconds out of me, so I think at the end I won something like 2 seconds this morning loop. So which means I can't really catch him by driving, but I need to try to pressurize him.
It's been a steady morning for the rally leader. 5-time Mexico winner Loeb looking very much in control again.
It's been a good morning. We are able to increase a bit our lead on Mikko and to keep the same with Jari-Matti, so it was a good start.
Are you on the limit? Have you got more pace?
No, I was on the limit, especially in the second stage. I tried to push hard already until the end of the stage.
With the cars refitted and the drivers refreshed, the crews are soon on their way back out to the famous Iberia stage as this packed second day resumes. Joining Wout Tanak here at the start line, the M Sport World Rally Team man is running 5th. And with Solberg more than half a minute ahead, the young Estonian is focused on building up his own experience. It's not a good stage for Wout though. A puncture costs more than a minute and he's now just seconds ahead of Novikov. Petter Solberg was complaining of brake issues in the first loop this morning, but with the problem resolved in service, along with a setup tweak, the Norwegian is finally able to attack.
Tight long, tightens half long, tightens a little, keep into request 30.
This is a maximum attack for the 2003 world champion, and Petter charges past his compatriot Mads Osberg on the leaderboard. It's Solberg who's setting the benchmark in this second pass through Iberia. Then his teammate Latvala has been consistently quick all weekend and is still pushing hard to keep the pressure on the Citroens. Oh, but that was another heavy impact beneath the car. And you can hear there's immediately something wrong. It's a puncture and has cost him almost 50 seconds.
Yeah, the sigh of frustration there. That's basically game over for the leader anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, now we can forget the fight for the first two positions. That's gone now. I have tried, and that is the conclusion now. What happened? So now we need to just try to concentrate to get the third place.
Well, it had been an inspired performance from Latvala, but that second delay has surely now ended his hopes of catching the Citroens. Mikko Hirvonen can breathe a sigh of relief then, but his own hopes of challenging for a first Mexico victory are rapidly dwindling as well. Oh, I think Mikko clipped something there too. He's got away with it, but that was a lucky escape for the man in second.
I think we have a slow puncture on the front right, because I hit the rock pretty hard 7 or 8 kilometers before the finish, and its car is not turning so well in the left-hand corner, so I think we had a bit of a damage in the tyre as well.
So things are falling into place nicely for the man who's won for the last 5 times in Mexico. Despite his rival's problems, Sebastian Loeb, though, is certainly leading the way on merit. Let's follow the world champion through this technical stretch of road.
50 mètres. Gauche sans corde max tape. Sur droite à fond. 100 mètres. Droitier.
Inch perfect as ever, and it's a second consecutive stage win for the rally leader.
Fastest time again, so now we have more than 20 seconds lead. It's not bad. See, Jari-Matti is losing time. Puncture. But he's done a lot of long way with the puncture because
From 4 kilometers.
on the front.
Yeah.
And he lost only the 50 seconds. Good tire.
Well, the Michelin gravel tyres proving incredibly strong then, and with temperatures now a lot warmer, the second pass through the Marathon Otate stage is going to be incredibly tough on them again. One man who knows a thing or two about driving in such conditions is Nasser Al-Attiyah. The Qatari driver has won the Middle East Championship an incredible 7 times, and he's also a former winner of the epic Dakar cross-country event. So conserving his Michelins through this technical stage isn't a problem for Nasser. He's running in 9th position. Just over 20 seconds ahead of Al-Attiyah on the leaderboard is Chris Atkinson. Driving for the Monster World Rally team for the first time, the Australian has taken a bit of time to get back up to speed after 3 years away from the sports top level. He's back alongside experienced co-driver Stefan Prevost.
7 left, 5 right, then 5 left long.
There seems to be a bit of a problem late in the stage though. Chris is losing a lot of time to Nasser in here.
4 left, 13, 4 right.
Ahead of Atkinson in 7th is Evgeny Novikov. The young Russian has controlled his pace well on the challenging Mexican roads, but with fellow Ford driver Oyt Tanak just a few seconds ahead, this intriguing battle between 2 of the sport's young stars will be worth keeping an eye on this afternoon. There's another veteran co-pilot alongside Evgeny in the shape of Denis Girardet. Jari-Matti Latvala, meanwhile, has now set about recovering from setback number 2. You can still see the damage from that puncture on the front left of the car. We saw the 26-year-old drop back to 4th, but with his teammate Peter Solberg just a few seconds ahead, Latvala makes short work of getting back into the podium positions. It's another stunning time from the Finn. Back in the stage, the rally leader's hold on the top spot is looking increasingly secure. Seb getting plenty of support in Mexico, and having already pulled out an advantage of almost 22 seconds over his teammate, this rally is now Loeb's to lose. With a lot of large rocks around the finish here, the Frenchman is even free to back off and make it safely through. Well, what's going on here? Atkinson stopped after the stage, and it looks like he's going no further.
We're coming down here, 6th gear, brake before that crest like last time, and the brake pedal just went to the floor. I tried to pump it, it went to the floor 3 times in a row and pulled the handbrake, had no handbrake, so just couldn't stop.
You obviously knew the brakes were going, or did they just fail?
They were going a bit, but they were coming up within like half a pump, and I had something there all the time until that one braking then.
With Atkinson out, Armindo Arroyo moves up to 9th in the Mini, while Sebastian Ogier in the S2000 Skoda now fills the final point-scoring slot. Further up, Latvala's back to 3rd, and Loeb continues to pull away. It's all happening here in Mexico, and still to come we have the fan favourites El Brinco jump in the Commanhia stage. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back to the Rally Guanajuato, Mexico in Leon, where we have this event's iconic stretch of road coming up next. The Comanjia test features the El Brinco jump, which over the years has become a mecca for the Mexican fans. And the party atmosphere is building as they wait for the stars of the WRC. And they don't have to wait long because Petter Solberg is fast approaching. No sign of lifting off there from the Ford man. The fans on the hill will have appreciated that. It's still been very slippery for Petter on this first pass through Comanjia, but he is the quickest through so far. Behind Solberg in the stage, once again his teammate Jari-Matti Latvala is proving that were it not for his two major problems, he would certainly have been fighting for the win. The Finn is quickest again in stage 17 and pulls further away from Petter. There's little Ford's number one can do about his deficit to the Citroens at the front though. Mikko Hirvonen is fast approaching the fans at El Brinco. Well, controlled lead from the Citroen man with his teammate looking untouchable at the moment. This is a risk-free drive now from Mikko. Once again in Mexico, Loeb's incredible car control has proved a deciding factor on these challenging gravel roads. Well, he needed to take evasive action there. That was a huge rock lying in the racing line. Again, the world champion's incredible reactions preventing disaster, but that must have rattled him.
Sebastian, a little time lost there to the Fords, but I think it's a situation now of hold position and consolidate what you have.
Yeah, exactly. And so I didn't want to take big risks. Even in this case, it's tricky because we had again some big stones put it on the road, and I try to avoid one, but if I hit it, I will break everything. So that's a bit stupid situation.
After another pass through the Super Special, Loeb's lead is up to 36.5 seconds. Once again, the drivers return to the Comanjia test, and the fans haven't moved a muscle down at the El Brinco jump as they await the arrival of Ken Block. It's been a long day for the American.
Big jump. Easy, Ken, easy.
Alex sounding a bit concerned there. And for good reason, that was a huge jump. Total commitment from Block. Evgeny Novikov has once again proved his pace in Mexico, but there's a problem with his suspension. Frustratingly, the Russian fails to make it through the day's final stage. Joined Mikko Hirvonen now, and despite making contact with parts of Novikov's deteriorating Fiesta in here, the Finn manages to make it through stage 20 with his second place intact.
Yeah, rocks and Novikov's rear suspension was in the middle of the road. I hit that one really hard with my rear corner, so I'm really surprised that we didn't have any damage or any puncture or anything over there, but we were very lucky with that.
Well, the last WRC runner of the day is fast approaching the El Brinco jump. Sebastian Loeb now well on course to claim his 6th consecutive victory here in Mexico. The world champion flies safely to the end of day 2 at the top of the leaderboard. His advantage over teammate Hirvonen, 36.2 seconds. A difficult day once again for Jari-Matti Latvala, nearly 2 minutes off Loeb's lead. Petter Solberg remains in 4th from Mads Osberg, and Oyt Tanak closing out the second day here in Mexico in an impressive 6th. The drivers have returned to the service park. Sebastian Loeb is our rally leader, and he looks as calm as ever, signing some autographs for his loyal fans.
Sebastian, it's been a long day, but things are looking very good for victory now.
Yes, at the moment it's on a good way. Situation couldn't be much better tonight, so I hope we can continue like that until the end. It's a very long stage tomorrow, so nothing is finished, but we'll try to do it well.
What do you think about that very long stage tomorrow? 53 kilometers, that's a bit of a monster.
Yeah, it's a very long one, but okay, it's the same as 2 stages of 25 finally. So we just have to find the right rhythm and to be concentrated until the end.
It's been another frustrating day for Ford's Jari-Matti Latvala. The pace has been there, the luck has not.
Jari-Matti, you've been fighting hard today, but that puncture on stage 15 really was a big problem for you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because before that we still tried the pressurized Citroens, and we were over a minute behind, but still in the area that maybe the Citroens were not so comfortable position, but after that puncture it went up over 2 minutes, and after that basically they were able to back off and they didn't need to risk so much anymore.
It's been a bruising second day here at Rally Guanajuato, Mexico, and it's far from over. Can Sebastian Loeb survive that epic 53-kilometer stage on the final leg to make it 6 in a row? Join us tomorrow for the conclusion of this fascinating rally. Until then, it's goodbye.